Ready? Okay. All right. Case number one, 1414 71st Avenue. Is Miss Pritzker here? Who's here for her? Is Allison here?
Yes, I'm here. I'm
Hi,
out.
Allison.
Hello.
Allison, are you a lawyer?
I'm not.
Okay. Could you please raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Megan, can you
Hi,
raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Megan, tell us a little bit about this case.
There's a permit issued, so this is no action on the part of the board.
Okay, good. Deb, could you read that into the record?
Certainly. Case number one, MI 2025-007584 for 1414 71st Avenue. This is moot complied, Megan?
No, not moot, complied,
Just moot.
just moot. There's an issued
Yes,
permit.
moot.
Moot.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, next case.
That's a
We
continued
skipped
case.
it. It's a continued case.
No, I'm going to read it. And
Okay, please read it into the
case number
minutes.
two,
Record, I should say.
MI 2025-007257 for 3053 North Water Street. This case is going to be continued to sometime in June or July.
Okay. We have to vote on the continuation? No? Okay, let's move on.
Case
Uh,
number, oh,
Case number three?
case number three, MI 2025-007405 for 4205 Frankfurt Avenue. Requested a continuance and is rescheduled for April 16th.
Okay, good deal. Do we have to vote on the delayed appeal? When they come? Got it. Okay. All right. Next case, number four, 5625 Rodman Street. Is Gregory Clark here? Oh, Greg, you here? Is Greg Clark here? Going once? Is Greg Clark here? Going twice? Is Greg Clark here? All right, what we'll do, you put you in the back. If you come in late, we'll hear it. If not, we'll dismiss it for not showing up. All right, case number five.
And I did send you the picture.
Thank you. Okay. Victor's here for 5 and 6, right? Okay.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You want me to read both of them
Uh,
at the same time?
Yes, at the same time. Okay. What I want to do is get everybody sworn and stuff. Okay. All right. Victor, you're not a lawyer, right?
I'm not.
Okay. Could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
Okay. And that'll be for both cases. Is that okay? Case 4 and 5. Okay. Meg,
I'll get closer.
Yes,
could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And that'll be for case 4 and, case 5 and 6. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Deb, could you read that into the record?
Okay, this is case number five, MI 2025-004617 for 13 North Third Street, Victor Gordon. And then there's case number six, MI 2025-005489 for 13 North Third Street, Victor Gordon.
Okay, let's go to case number 5. Meg, could you tell us a little bit about case number 5?
There's two unsafe cases open on this property. So I will start with the department wrote an unsafe violation on the property December 1st of 2022, and also a second case on the property June 24th of 2025. Appeals were filed for BBS in July 17th of 2025. However, this property has already been heard through the courts, and a final order was issued to the owner by the courts that he had to comply.
Okay.
Do you have photos you can show us?
Yeah.
You want me to do it? Okay. So it sounds like there, a final order from the court, is that an appeal of the first violation in 2023? Or is that appeal stemming from the 2025 violation? Or the litigation, maybe not appeal?
I
Megan?
think if I read in the order, both cases were
Do you have
in
a
here.
copy of the
Sorry,
order?
I do. It's in this packet. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the interior picture is dated 6/17/2025. This is the exterior, and the court order is right here. So this is, and then just to note for the record, there was another, I believe there was another order that we have not received yet from the courts on March 19th for an order to comply. So, but I'm going to double check that.
So I'm just reviewing this. If a court has issued a final order on a violation, then it would not be in the jurisdiction of any, city agency like BBS. From what I can see of the order, that litigation involves the first violation, the 2022.
Right. And then on, I thought both were in the one, but I think I stand corrected on that one.
Are they based on the same facts? I mean,
Um, the case that was written in 2022 was for just the deteriorated building, exterior walls. Exterior walls are not fractured front exterior wall with loose and falling bricks and capstones. And then the second violation that was written in 2025 was for roof assembly is deteriorated and falling in areas can be seen from the second floor, temporarily supported by a metal post. So no, not
so,
all the same.
I think I'm comfortable putting this on the record unless the board would like an executive session.
I did have a question about the court order. Has the LNI taken action based on the decision of the court order? Can you hear me?
Me?
Yes, this is a
Oh,
question.
I didn't know. I couldn't really hear.
Has LNI taken action based on the decision of the court order?
Well, the court order was for him to comply with the violation. So the department only sought, I believe in this one, permit fees and fines. So it's not an order to
Okay.
demolish. So when the property went to court, the judge issued an order, a final order to comply. And now the onus is on the owner of the property to pull the permits and apply and make repairs to this property.
And just to be clear, Megan, that applies to the first violation. Does it also apply to the second violation, or are we just waiting for the paperwork on that?
He owns, I'm gonna double check myself. He owns 13 North Third and 15 North Third, both which were in court. I think I might have 15 North Third confused with 13. So it does not look like, It does
So-
not look like the second case written in 2025 has, it doesn't look like, from reading the order, it doesn't look like both cases were added in as part of the final order.
So, Mr. Gordon, is it your understanding that the first violation from 2022 that went through the courts and there was a final judgment on that?
No idea. I'm going to show you why when I'm allowed to talk.
So
I'm
you-
sorry,
you
this
weren't-
is this is the reporter. Could I ask the gentleman to get closer to the microphone? I couldn't hear his response.
I'm sorry. Is this better?
Yes,
Okay. Should I repeat what I said?
into the microphone.
Okay, I'm sorry. My mother told me, look at the person I'm talking to. Okay. When I'm called on to talk, I'll explain the whole situation.
Good.
Should I- Should I do so now or?
No, hold on
oh,
a second. What we got here, Matt?
So if there was a final order from the court, then this board would lack jurisdiction to hear an appeal based on what the court has already ruled on.
I had no idea. I'll show you when I show you the papers.
I don't believe that
So,
pertains to whether or not we can accept a hearing, or whether or not you're
so
aware of it.
for the first hearing, the violation from 2022, this board lacks jurisdiction. For the second hearing,
So the first one can't be appealed, is what you're saying?
that's correct. It cannot be appealed to this board.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next.
We would have to,
Make a motion to
Vote.
dismiss.
so one of the board members has moved to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction, so we'll need to vote on that.
Can we talk
Absolutely.
to, okay. Victor,
Yes,
let me hear your side of the story.
okay. My family has been in Philadelphia since my grandfather. And ever since then, we've had trouble with the city. I'm sure you know, without me actually coming out and saying it, what happened with inspectors over the years and how things were dealt with. So I'm not going to go into that. But as far as my problems with the city, it started with my father's property. The city has tried to steal our properties. Okay, they did steal one on Frankfurt Avenue. It's not here. I have paperwork. I walked into,
Just give me these ones here.
Okay.
Okay.
I walked into the sheriff's department. He came out. He said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, you illegally took a property from me. If I don't get it back fast, I'm going to see if I can put you in jail." Actually, somebody else put him in jail. It was the previous.
Save you the problem, but
Yeah,
here's my
it wa-
question. My
Okay,
question is-
so the sheriff said to me, "We're putting it up for sheriff sale. So you have to either buy my own property, or you're going to have years of problems because we're going to sell it to somebody else." And that's what happened. It cost me $23,000 to get my own property back.
Did you go to court?
What they did was, I didn't want it to be tangled up with going back to somebody else. So I was forced to buy it at sale. I paid $23,000 if I remember correctly.
Why don't you just
And-
get the place fixed instead of spending
No,
the
no,
money?
this didn't need anything fixed.
Oh.
Just to be
Okay,
clear-
and then they titled it in somebody else's name anyway, and it took me, I think, 2 years to get it back, and it cost $23,000. But let's,
That was the Frankfurt Avenue property.
Yes.
Not,
no,
No,
okay, this is something different, okay?
Mhm.
With my father's property, it's a Market Street property, it's not part of this, even though it gets violations all the time. A city man came down and said, "I was sent down here to give you a violation for rats." He said, I know you don't have any, but I have 2 young kids and I need this job. I said, give me the violation.
Okay.
And when you come back for a reinspection, I won't have any and he says, thank you so much. So that went away.
Okay.
Okay. I just was in hearing 3 weeks ago
Okay,
for trash, on the property
okay.
with a container that was overflowing and
Your container?
no.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
That's what I
Now,
thought.
they gave the hearing master gave the decision to the city.
Okay.
I said, there's no trash cans. We don't put out trash.
Yeah.
There's a dumpster there. They said, I
They
already made
didn't
my,
charge you or anything for that or fine you or anything, did they?
well, yeah, what happened was, he said, I already made a decision. I said, if you already made a decision, I'm going to go to the newspapers
Okay.
and talk about corruption. He said, and the next day I got a notice that the violation was moot.
Okay.
Okay,
good.
which I do have the copy
Well,
of that.
we don't care about that. We're
Okay,
just, our
okay, let's-
concern now
It's Third
is,
Street.
yes.
Okay.
First of all, you had a court hearing and they said that you had to,
I
you weren't
did-
there. Maybe you couldn't make it, but they made the
Um,
decision. So that's mute. The
um,
next one,
well,
appeal number 6, Meg, what's that?
Yes.
Can I
That
show
is for,
you paperwork on that violation from 2023?
20, yeah, December 1st, 2023, 22, that was already in the court, so we can't do anything about that.
I never got a notice of it.
But that doesn't make, we don't have no authority over that.
And I
But
can show
what-
you, I can show you where the violation was sent about 40 miles away to some other address.
Yeah,
I never knew about it,
Yeah.
so I didn't show up
we
to a
can't
hearing.
override the court. We're not the courts. That case, you got to work that out yourself. Then the next case, case number 6. What's that one, Meg?
If that's 13 or third, it's the same thing.
Yes.
They sent the paperwork somewhere else, so I never had knowledge of the violations until about a month and a half ago, somebody actually served me at my right address. And then I was made aware, but it was already,
Okay, So-
already through the courts.
let's do this. Let's work on number 6. Meg, can you tell us what needs to be done on number 6?
sure. Case number 6, this is the violation was written for the roof assemblies. It looks like an engineer report is required to look at the property, write a report, see how the repairs need to be made. A make safe permit needs to be issued. And a licensed contractor with the city of Philadelphia needs to perform the work.
Can-
Okay,
can I-
Victor, what do you think?
can I
Are
comment?
you ready to do that job for,
It's done.
it's done?
But the inspector won't come out and look at it. He avoided our questions for more than a week. But
Oh, you had this fixed?
it's done.
You had it
Yes,
fixed, right?
okay. Now-
Did you have it fixed by a licensed contractor in the city?
I had, I did most of it myself, and I had a contractor, he was helping me.
Okay, that might be the
I-
problem because what they want is an engineering report. You're not an engineer.
I hired an engineer. Pardon me? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I hired an engineer who charged me $2,000. I'm not complaining about the price. But what he did was, he copied the city's paper. He made no judgments on himself. And when I called him,
Well, everything goes, you really have a tough time with things,
yeah,
you know, man.
I'd like to tell you how my father's building burned down because of a city inspector.
Holy smoly. But
Uh,
the thing is that what
but-
you're gonna have to do, because you had this fixed, I would imagine, Meg, tell me if I'm wrong, that he's gonna have to have an engineering report and a make safe permit, and if the work's done, what would the city do?
Well,
they go
he
out and
would,
look at that?
According
Yeah.
to this, if I could just interject something, according to this, there was a second thing sent out by this, I'm sorry, sent out by the,
L&I?
no, I'm sorry, I have a chemo brain if you know,
Okay, no
if you
problem.
know what that is. Sent out by the, not architect, whatever the hell, you call?
Engineer?
Engineer, yeah.
Okay.
And it describes, it does not describe a wall falling out, and it simplifies everything the way it is closer to what it actually exists. And then it says, please read attached text, which I didn't know how to send it to you. But after that, it says site reinspection is required.
Okay, the
Now, the
violation,
city-
the second one is for the roof.
No.
No? Okay.
Okay, the roof is done also, but after that, it says site reinspection is required to confirm that the recommended repairs have been conducted. Thank you. Okay, now, we were calling the inspector for a week and a half. He wouldn't return one call. I happened to catch him. by
Who is your,
accident.
can I interject you? Who is your inspector?
I don't remember. Oh, wait, I have his card. Wait a second. 1 second.
Megan, are you able to pull up the case file so we can see the photos for
Yeah.
the second violation?
I also send photos from Mr. Gordon to your emails, your Philly emails, so if you could look at those as well. Just this.
One moment, and I'll tell you who the inspector was. I have a copy of his card.
Looks like a James Trainer was the
Oh,
initial inspector.
I think that's him. Okay, now, I happened to catch him. By accident, he answered my phone call, even though he's been avoiding us for more than a
Okay,
week.
we don't need all that. Just tell us
Okay.
what happened, okay?
Okay, he says, go get another engineer. I'm not coming out to reinspect. You have to reinspect. But he won't.
Did-
Okay,
For the work to repair the roof,
I'm sorry.
for the work to repair the roof, did you secure a permit from L&I?
I didn't. I think the guy that was working with me,
Okay.
he had somebody who actually was a roof.
Do you have
person.
a copy of that permit? Do you have any recollection of that? Okay. Megan, is there
Do
anything?
you need a permit to,
There's no permit on file.
Yeah. So
No, there's
do you
no
need a
permit.
permit to put a patch on?
We don't know what the level of work was, but
That's all it was. It was a patch.
so the violation indicates that you need a permit, and part of that permit is that you submit the engineer's report that describes the level of work needed to perform the repair.
The engineer in his report did not say that it was major, didn't say it was.
Understood.
It was a little leak, and
but
it was there for a long time, a long period of time, unnoticed, and it damaged the ceiling underneath. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, I've repaired my roof many times with tar. You know, if it's a little leak, you put tar on it, and if necessary, you put a piece of roofing material and you put more tar.
Okay.
It's not putting on a roof.
You're not, so the point of the submission is that L&I is made aware of the level of work needed. It may not be a significant work.
No, Ellen and I did not make us aware. We were aware there was nobody in the building, nobody using the building, and the intention was to fix it. But keep in mind, we had no notification of anything that was wrong because we never got the violations. They were sent to,
What is your actual address, sir? Your actual mailing address?
oh, I was finally served about 2 months ago, month and a half ago, at 1640 Oakwood Drive. The other addresses on where the paperwork were actually served, I don't live there at any of those other addresses.
So, Mr. Gordon, did you ever submit that engineering report to L&I?
The man never came out. He wouldn't come out.
But you
No.
have to submit it to get the permit. You don't give it to the inspector. You have to go through the process, and a licensed contractor would know that process.
Yeah, I had a licensed contractor go in and try to get a make safe permit,
Okay.
which to my information, you have to have the work done, and you get a make safe permit. And That's what I understood. They wouldn't give the make safe permit. I have a tenant. Now, my properties have been vacant for more than 10 years. Uh, um, I have cancer and I haven't worked in about 10 years. Okay. And now, the work being done, the inspector wouldn't even answer our phone calls. And then finally, just now, a couple of days ago, he answered the phone and he wouldn't come out. And even the paperwork, it says,
Inspector Eisenhart?
yeah.
Yeah,
think-
that was yesterday. I was sitting next to him
Okay.
when you spoke
he
to
said-
him, and he
and he-
didn't, right. It
then-
seemed as though you had a little bit of round and round with each other on something in regards to the property. However, the fact remains is there is an unsafe property that has 2 violations on them. One has a court order, one has not been in court yet. It's
Now-
unsafe, and the department is requiring a make safe permit for that repair. If the work
he
has
won't let me
been,
get
if
one.
the work has been done. Do you have people living in there?
Nobody's there.
No?
It's not-
Okay. If the work has been done, then you will need to get an engineer's report to certify that all the work that was done at the property is safe, and the department will close out that violation.
No, I need the inspector to come out and make sure that everything that he said is done. Now, some of the things that he said were absolute lies.
Like,
I
Megan,
have-
we could see the
So-
case
all
file,
right.
please.
I have 4
Right.
pictures. I have 4 pictures of a wall that he said is bulging out, and it's easily determined that that wall is not bulging out. It's not doing anything. There was a little branch growing out of it, which we took out. And then he said, for approval, take the bricks out of the wall to make sure there's nothing inside. Take the wall apart. It's kind of ridiculous. The man is just trying to harass me. Now, what we did do is we went inside the building and we took the wall that's inside behind the bricks. We took that apart and took pictures of the fact that there was no branches, no roots, nothing in there. And we sent him the pictures. They're showing that the wall was totally clear, but he won't come out and look and make sure that everything is right.
Mr. Gordon, the inspectors are not engineers and they can't certify that the building is safe. You really need to get an engineer out there again. My guess is your old engineering report might be too old at this point. But
It's
you-
only 4 months old.
Okay, we'll get the
But-
engineering.
But you've had work done since. Did the
Sure,
engineer,
we
did the,
complied with everything that was supposedly
if your
done.
engineering report says that that engineer feels that the wall is safe, then you need to submit it and Ellen and I will remove that
Well,
violation.
The violations for this number 6 case is for the roof, and the notes from the inspector indicate that there were several damaged roof joists. So if he did work on the roof joist or he did work at all, and he's saying that the entire property has been repaired, then the department would require an engineer's report to certify that all the work that was done without permits or inspections is safe. But
Megan,
if-
can you-
We
Yeah,
couldn't
I'm
get it-
gonna,
We couldn't get them inspected.
you have
Mr.
to get a
Gordon,
permit
Mr.
first,
Mr.
sir.
Gordon, what you need at this point is to have an engineer come back out, inspect the work that has been done, regardless of who it's been done, and they need to do a new report. And that report is either going to say that everything, in their opinion, professionally, is safe and so on. And if so, that will get submitted for a make-safe permit, sort of after the fact. If the engineer looks at it and determines that it's not safe, then they will identify the work that needs to be done to make it safe. And then a certified contractor, somebody registered with the city, needs to apply for a permit in order to do the work to make it safe.
According to the second contact from the engineer, he indicated that a lot of that stuff wasn't, he never even mentioned a wall falling out, bulging. I have
The wall has to do
Yeah,
with the first case, which we are not hearing. We are only hearing the second one, which has to do with the roof. And from reading the city citation, it's very clear that the roof, the joist damage and so on. All of those things are what the engineer needs to look at and respond to. And it's unfortunate that these two things are kind of happening in real time. But we need to, and the only thing that we can focus on is the second one, which is the roof situation.
That's it. We have no control over anything else. We just have control.
So in other words, the other things will still stand, and I'll still have a $1.4 million lien against my property for not showing up to a hearing that I never had notice of.
We don't, we have no idea that we don't control that. We only control right now the roof. You have to get the roof fixed. You have to have an engineer come out and look at the roof. And if the engineer says that roof's fine, then L&I will take away the violation. If the engineer says it's not fine, you have to get a permit to do the work. And that's it. I mean, there's nothing else. That's very basic. Nobody's trying to harass you, but that's what happens. And the thing is that you got to comply with that.
I had another violation on another property down the street for non-maintenance of the sprinkling system, and I went and they don't, and there's no sprinkling system, and the building's not required to have one. But I got a violation
No,
for it.
That's not our issue. Our issue is
Okay.
number 6, getting the roof done.
Yeah,
Number
okay.
5, that's a court order. We
I-
can't do anything about that. So you need to get your engineer out there and look at that roof, or if you did the work, he has to give you, if he did the work, has to give you a letter saying he did the work and there's not, everything's taken care of. If not, he says, no, you have to get a permit and get that fixed. And there's nothing else we can do.
And we're sympathetic about all these other situations.
I
But what
understand.
we're trying to do is focus on the one that we actually can help you with.
See,
And we're trying to tell you how to deal with that.
right, give another couple $1,000s to an engineer again. Okay, my feelings are, and I am, and I'll apologize for my attitude because I know I have one, because my father's building burned down because of an inspector who insisted that,
You can speak into the microphone so that the court.
I'm sorry,
Thank you.
I won't go into the whole thing because it's 27 years ago, something like that. But now that I'm being harassed, I'm angry. I have one of the largest and best private collections of African art in the world. And before I stopped doing any business, because my cancer and everything, I was going to make a museum. I'd have to be an idiot to put a situation like that, which is a large situation. I'd have to be an idiot to do that in this city, because the very first thing that'll happen is,
Like, if you
Hey,
could.
Meg, where do we go from here? He has to, on number 6, he has to have an engineer's report, nothing else we can do on that roof, right?
Right. I mean, if he's saying that he did all the work, then he needs an engineer's report stating that all the work to the roof for at least this case, or if he did both, he needs an engineer's report stating that the work that was done without permit and inspections is safe. If the engineer's report states that everything is safe, then the department would close out that violation based upon the engineer's report. If the engineer's report states that it is not safe or that work needs to be done, then he would be required to get a make safe permit to comply with that violation.
As easy as that.
And you need to make sure that the engineer that you have look at this, that you give them the violation notice so that it's clear to them what it is that they're inspecting.
I gave the violation
Okay, good.
notice before.
So,
But be good with the engineer's report, get that, turn it into the city. If not, you got to get another guy out there to do it all over again and then fix the problem.
Yeah, it's
Nothing
sad.
else we can do.
It's sad. I have some good properties, and one of them is a big property on Market Street. And I intended, since my grandfather started and my father and me now, I wanted my kids to come into the city and do business in the city and use the properties and so forth. I'm not letting them.
I can
You know,
understand
it's
your feelings, but.
because of all of this.
I know, the thing is that let's take care of one thing at a time.
Mr. Gordon, are you aware of the specific area of the building the second violation is referring to?
Between first and second, you have to just tell me what you're talking about.
So the second violation is only
Is
related,
that the roof?
it's the roof
joists?
and floor joists.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Megan,
If-
I don't know if you can see the screen, or it's not sharing anymore, but there's photos in the case file that identify what areas need to be repaired. So when you are talking to the engineer to prepare a report, they have to look at that specific
Yeah,
area.
Yeah, the engineer would recommend, the only good way to fix it is, you know what a sister joist is?
Yes.
Okay, that's how you fix
Okay,
it.
so then
That's how you fix it.
Okay,
It's
so
been
then-
done.
Okay, so then what you need to do is legalize that work by submitting the engineer's report and details of what was done to L&I so that they can issue a permit, after which an inspector can come out and inspect the work. That's the process. You can't just do the work and expect an LI inspector to come to the property. You have to submit for a permit with the documents you received and the plans you developed to get that work legalized, and then the inspector, once that permit's been approved, because the reviewer may find something in the details that is missing or was done incorrectly.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
And to me, I'm losing a tenant.
You don't have one.
You don't have one. You mentioned it was vacant.
I'm losing a very good tenant that wants to move into that property, actually the first. The first was 2 days ago.
Get
Okay.
the
the only way to-
engineering report,
Yeah.
you can do that.
The only way to resolve the issue
And
is
that-
to submit
that
for a
won't
permit.
resolve the lease, because he may get angry and
Okay.
take his business somewhere else.
Understood.
All right,
Okay, which will
Yeah.
be another vacant property in Old City.
okay,
Megan,
you know what you have to do. You got to get it done, okay? We can't do anything else with that until you get that done and get the engineer report. We went over this time after time, so that's where we're at. And do we have to give it a certain amount of days until he gets the,
I was going to ask L&I if they have a number of days that they
Yeah.
can wish a permit to be submitted.
Meg, you have a number of days until he gets the permit or submits the report?
I would say, I would give them 30 days to get an engineer's report.
Okay,
Make it 60, because I'm going to get a different engineer. This guy, I found him ineffective.
okay, you got 45 days. Okay?
All right.
All right, cut the baby in half. All right, good luck.
We need to vote.
Yeah, we need to do an official vote on
I'm in
that.
agreement
Okay.
of having an engineer's report in 45 days.
I'm in agreement
Okay,
with 45 days for the engineer's report.
Mr.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
first, make a motion to dismiss case 5.
We have no standing with case 5.
Yeah, we need an official vote to
Why to come here?
dismiss for lack of
We accept
jurisdiction.
I'm sorry, this is the court reporter. I'm having a little trouble following the votes and the cross motions.
Okay.
Could you- Please, thank you.
Okay, let's do number 6 first, okay?
Well, what was number 5 that he has to?
Don't worry about
vacate?
number 5 right now. We're working on number 6. Is everybody good with number 6? The
Well, if it-
45 days.
If number
I am.
5, if number 5 was going to be vacated, I won't have to pay an engineer to stretch into number 5, which will.
We're not going into that. We don't have no jurisdiction over 5, okay? Pradeep, you good with number 6?
45
Ted, you
days.
good with number 6?
Yes, I am.
I'm good with number 6 and so is
I
Amy.
am.
Okay, hearing's done. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're voting on number 5 to
I make a motion to dismiss case.
dismiss the case because, yeah, all right.
I'm in agreement to dismiss case number 5.
I'm in agreement also.
I'm in agreement as well.
Okay, good luck, Victor.
Thank you.
Okay. All right,
Now, number 5 was the original one from 2023?
Yes.
Okay, the one I was never served on. Okay.
that's okay. Mhm. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're on number 4. 5625 Rodman Street, Gregory Clark. Is Gregory Clark here? Is Gregory Clark here? Is Gregory Clark here? Okay, let's move on. Okay.
Can we confirm service for Rodman Street?
That's the last of the violation.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you.
And can we also confirm if there's any communication about the rescheduled time for this? Can we confirm if there was any communication about the updated time for this hearing for this case as well? Thank you.
So for case number 4, 5625 Rodman Street, a board notice of hearing was sent on March 4th, 2026 to the address Gregory Clark, 5625 Rodman Street, Philadelphia, PA, 19143. So a board notice of hearing was sent. An email was also sent to the email provided, greg99@gmail.com, on Monday, March 30th, regarding the Zoom link for today's hearing.
Okay. Sweet.
Did that email include the rescheduled time and the letter?
Yes, an email was sent the prior week about the rescheduling of the time at 10 o'clock. I did not get a response, and then I did send out the email with the Zoom link on Monday,
What time is on the letter?
1 o'clock.
Okay, I think. Since the letter said 1 o'clock, I believe we would need to continue this or wait until 1 o'clock before we dismiss it.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, fine, let's move on. Okay.
How about, did that Megan go, or no?
She'd have to come back when,
Why don't we just continue it?
well, how about if the person comes back and they said that I was told to come at 1 o'clock? Okay?
Megan, can you be on call?
At 1, I get done at 1 today.
Okay.
So
All right.
Do you like Wednesday?
Let's continue it. Worry about it then.
which
Okay.
one, I'm sorry, is being continued?
Number 4.
Rodman Street?
Rodman Street, 5625 Rodman Street.
All right, Megan?
Yep.
I'll read it in.
Okay, read it in the record.
Case number 4, MI 2025-007364 for 5625 Rodman Street will be continued.
Okay. I agree with that.
I'm in agreement.
I'm in agreement.
I agree.
Okay, let's move on. Have a good one, Meg.
Thank you, everybody.
Holiday. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, next case, it's a refusal. 1009. Okay, okay. Fine. Red Line Road. And who is here from Red Line Road? Red Matson. Okie dokie.
Number 7. Red Line Road and Green Street is next.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Green Street's next. Yep, okay. You guys are from Green Street? Okay, we'll take this one case and you're next. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, 1009 Red Line Road, Brett Matson. Are you here, Brett?
Yes, I am.
Brett, are you a lawyer?
I am not. I'm a permit expediter.
Okay, is there anybody else going to be testifying today with you?
Yes, another permit expediter who works with me, Miad Al-Jasari, who's also here.
I'm sorry, this is the court reporter. I'm having a little difficulty. What was your title, sir?
I'm a permit expediter. I'm the applicant for the appeal.
It's echoing.
Okay, Brett, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and state your name?
Brett Matson, yes, I do.
Okay. And who else is going to be testifying?
Here, Miad Al-Dawsari.
Okay, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Pretty correct, board member.
Aaron Rodden, Board Counsel.
Matthew Webster, Board Counsel.
Shakir Cohen, LNI Supervisor.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Okay, whoever's going to present the case, go ahead.
I'm going to read it in the record.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Read it
okay.
into the record, Deb.
This is case number 7 on today's agenda, MI 2026-001479 for 1009 Red Line Road.
Okay, whoever wants to do the case, go ahead.
My screen.
Sure, yeah, if you don't mind showing
The view.
yeah. So this proposal is to change a duplex into a triplex. Obviously, that requires a sprinkler system. We're requesting a variance to not install a sprinkler system. This is in response to a violation. The owner of this property, who lives at the property, performed the work without permits, hired us to acquire the permits for him. The space that's being converted is not an addition, it's the former garage. So the garage is being removed, turned into a studio effectively. The refusal lists, counting here, something like 5 or 6 items. But it really boils down to, as you can see in the summary comment at the end, the lack of a sprinkler system. All the other requirements of the code would be met if a sprinkler system were installed. For example, the single exit and means of egress issues would be solved with a sprinkler system. There is an emergency egress and escape opening, 2 of them in fact, that meet the requirements of IBC 1030, 2 windows that are large enough to meet those requirements. The single exit would otherwise be fine. With that escape opening, the travel distance is pretty short. You can see on the first floor life safety plan, I believe that's 37 feet. There's a fire separation at the former garage door, which wasn't there before, of 1 hour. Everything meets or exceeds standard building code requirements, but because there are already people living there, including the owner, we're seeking variance not to install the sprinkler system.
On the plans, where does it show the 1 hour separation between the 2?
Can you zoom in on that? I think it's gonna be on the first floor architectural, not on life safety. Sorry, on the sheet you were on, but
Here it is,
top
down
corner.
there.
Yeah, over there. So this 14B1 right there, and the 101, the door is 101. In the keys on this sheet are both 1 hour rated.
The existing wall between the laundry and the new unit isn't rated, or we don't know the rating of that wall.
And this is the loudest.
Oh, really?
If you don't mind repeating your question.
Yes, so
you-
the existing wall between the laundry room and the new unit 3, that's shown as existing. We don't know what the fire rating is of that wall is. Is that correct?
Wall between the laundry room,
Here.
I believe.
It says laundry.
Oh, right. That is existing. Yes. That is, do we have a rating for that?
I don't believe so. I don't have any information.
So we don't have information about that. We know that the new 1 hour door and assembly was put in the entrance, but no information about the existing.
And what additional life safety systems are being installed in the building in lieu of a sprinkler? as
The
alternative?
egress openings, so there's 2 windows, double hung windows that meet the requirements for emergency egress openings in code, as if they were new construction. You can see them with the hexagon marked C on the current view.
Sorry, Brett, it's very hard to hear you. There's really an echo chamber.
Yes, thank you.
Try to
Mr. Eggers.
enunciate when you talk.
Yeah, I think you're using one computer.
Let me try switching my mic. 1 second.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
Much better. Thank you.
All right, great. Sorry about that. And then I guess Mia turned down on your computer so we don't get feedback. Which part would you like me to repeat?
So yeah,
Is that the laundry room you want to know, or?
no, I was just looking up the requirements. So the alternative you're proposing is egress openings from Unit 3. Can Ellen, I confirm? I believe those are required because it's a single exit floor. So
Yes,
those aren't alternatives to sprinklers. They're already required, even if you put a sprinkler system in.
right.
Understood.
Is there any other things that they have done to upgrade anything without putting a sprinkler system in?
Not beyond what's shown. However, the
Shown or
owner,
Required.
sorry, what was that?
Was it not what is shown is what is, if it's required, that doesn't fall into, in the place there that says that because you upgraded it to this, that you wouldn't need a sprinkler system. It's probably required. Is there anything that's not required that you're doing?
No, if that's the case about the emergency egress. However, we're open to suggestions. We warned our client that the BDS might want additional work done. The client is open to changes to things, but asked us to go on with the plans as existing. If you have suggestions, I'd be happy to pass them on.
Anybody have any suggestions? John, what do you think?
Well, there's not many things that would be equal to or better than having your own extinguishing system or fire suppression system in the building, right? So variances are given if it's written in error, they don't fully apply, or there's something equal to or better. I don't see anything equal to or better that would allow them to have a variance. So, I mean, even if they, made things a 2-hour rated, instead of a 1-hour rated, or any type of things to shore up the building, it doesn't really change the fact that you won't have a sprinkler system. So I couldn't suggest anything to say, yes, if you do this, it's equal to or better than a sprinkler system. I couldn't think of anything. So, so the reasons for the variance, to me, aren't there with regard to what we've established in the past.
Anybody else have any questions? You want to caucus?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to caucus for a second. Thank you.
Sure.
Hold on. Good. Okay. I have a question for L&I. Would they have to partially put a sprinkler system in, or would they have to fully sprinkle the whole building?
They have to fully sprinkle the whole building as it's only one fire area.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, we don't see anything better what you can do than a sprinkler system, and we're denying the variance.
One follow-up question then,
Yeah.
related to what Shakir just said.
Mhm.
If we could separate this, so 1 hour radiating all the way around, and the ceiling assembly as well, could we then sprinkler just this unit without having to sprinkler the existing units where no change is proposed?
1 hour wouldn't create a separate fire area. I think it's what's the construction type here? 5?
It's 5B, I think. Yeah, 5B. Now that's assumed, but I think it's a safe assumption.
Yeah. I think it's 2 or 3 hours to create a separate fire area.
So if they went through the trouble of actually creating a separate fire area, not by simply a 1 hour, but by whatever's required by code, 2 or 3 hours, would they then be able to just sprinkler this new room without kicking out the owner and the current tenant and sprinkling the entire thing?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay.
Which we would need a variance.
And then we would not need a variance. Is that correct? Okay. So the options are construct it as a sprinkler the entire thing, or propose changes to the plan, submit to LNI to create a separate fire area and only sprinkler this new unit.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Understood.
Okay. All right, good luck.
All right. Thank you.
We're voting you to dismiss, and you're proceeding to revise your plans with LNI.
Yes.
I
Okay.
agree to
You
dismiss.
agree?
I'm sorry, this is the court reporter. I did not hear that motion clearly. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, we're making a motion to dismiss the case as the applicant will. Sorry. Deny the
Yeah, we have
variance.
to
Sorry.
deny the
Sorry.
variance. Yeah, okay.
I'm in agreement.
I'm in agreement.
I'm in agreement.
Okay, good luck, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Next case, Green Street. Oh.
Feels like old times.
Yeah.
Is this the same thing we have
Certainly
digitally?
does.
I don't know. I think I did the visual. There you go.
Yeah, it is. Sure.
Okay, so both you guys are going to be testifying?
Correct, yes.
Okay, could you raise your right hand and state your name and you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do, yes.
And state your name?
Name is Evan Litfin.
Okay.
My name is Monica Wyatt, and yes, I do.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yeah, good, perfect.
I'm sorry, I did not hear the second speaker.
Monica Wyatt, and yes, I do.
All right, okay. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Pretty correct, board member.
Aaron Rodden, Board Counsel.
Matthew Webster, Board Counsel.
Shakir Cohen, LNI Supervisor.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Okay,
This is case number 8 on today's agenda, MI 2026-001515 for 2313 Green Street.
whoever's going to present the case, go ahead.
Sure, thank you. So this is 2313 Green Street. I think it's important to say this project is a severely constrained site. It is within it is a contributing property within the Spring Garden Historic District. The project is being conducted over 2 phases. So the existing building fronting onto Green Street is phase 1. That was approved at the Historical Commission at the staff level. And that consists of a conversion from 5 units to 6 units. And the rear building is phase 2, and that consists of 3 units. The property, it's worth noting, is a by right zoning, and it is severely underbuilt for the site. Not severely, but it's just generally underbuilt in terms of density and lot coverage. The variance requested today relates to 1 unit within the first phase, and that's the Green Street building. It is the rear unit on the first floor. So that's unit 2R. And the intention is for it to egress through the courtyard, which is roughly 60 feet. So there's a separation of at least 60 feet between phase 1 and phase 2 through an overhang of phase 1. And this is where the literal reading of the code views that as re-entry. Our intention is for that to be open exit, but treated as an exit passageway. So that would include fire suppression. It would include the required rating within the passageway, lighting, signage, all of the above. And we actually are proposing to increase the fire rating within the passageway to 2 hours to factor in the additional occupant load from unit 2R in the first building. That occupant load is 5, so it's a 2-bedroom apartment that would be using this in addition. I would call you to page 10 within the package as a sort of key diagram to show the site plan, the egress path, and the travel distance. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
So Green Street is to the left on this page, correct?
Green Street is to the right. I'm sorry, I should give you more context.
Yeah.
Green
I thought it
Street.
was a big front yard.
There is a big front yard,
Okay.
yes. So Green Street is the phase 1 fronting Green Street is set back significantly. And this unit actually does have has a secondary means of egress, which would very clearly require re-entry, which is why we're not focused on it. But it can go through the vestibule of phase 1 and go to Green Street as well. The rear egress that phase 2 fronts on is Wallace Place, which is it's an open alley that connects to Wallace Street. And there's photos of it. You can see it from Wallace in the package.
Where you enter sort of the walkway out with Wallace, is that is there any kind of gate or is it totally open at the?
Yeah, we'd be open to keeping it open. We'd like to be able to put a gate, but if we did, obviously, it would not ever be able to be locked from the inside.
The mechanic hardware.
Exactly.
I don't know whether something like this is it.
I'm sorry, this is the reporter. I'm having trouble.
Am I not talking into the microphone?
I'm sorry. My question is whether it is clear to somebody going out there where they're to go to get out. I mean, and illuminated at night and that kind of thing.
Absolutely, yes.
So are they going onto a private driveway to leave?
It's not a private driveway. There's a survey in the back. It's actually, I believe it's an easement. There's clear easement access to it for this property.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions?
I think the previous question was about the gate at opening into Wallace Street, and the only other concern would be making sure there's never any doors at the entry or exit of this tunnel. So if there's smoke accumulating, it can vent normally. And then is it anticipated to have sprinklers protect that tunnel?
Yes, it is. Type 13.
What is there going to be heat in there?
No, it's open.
Okay, what are you're going to put a dry system in there or?
Oh, yeah, it would have to be.
Okay. All right. John, do you have any questions?
Nah, Wayne, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Aim, anything?
It's also additional context. This wasn't the initial conception of this project. This project went through nearly 8 months at the Historical Commission and a lot of neighbor input. And we shrunk the footprint from what was double this, which would have allowed us to avoid this issue, to a footprint that essentially matches the footprint of the existing garage back there.
Did you say 80 months?
8.
Oh, I don't understand. You said 80. Oh,
It felt like 80.
Yeah, it felt right. Okay. Okay. I have no problem with that, granting the variance.
I'm okay with granting the variance.
I'm okay with granting the variance.
I agree. I'll grant it.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you very much.
You want your stuff back?
We can take them, but we don't need them.
There's trash cans, you know.
We can recycle them too if you
Yeah,
don't
we
want to
can-
carry
we
them.
can- we-
They're heavy.
I'm only kidding.
Last time I was here, this is how we came, so.
That's how you're leaving. See you guys. Okay. Aim for the number. Okay. Okay, Race Street, right? Okay. Give us a second.
Jeremy, you here?
Hello.
There you are. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Just wanted
exactly.
to make sure.
And we also have Neil.
Oh, okay,
Neil,
yes. I
Neil
did see
Campbell
him
is also
there.
here for this case.
Okay. So when we get ready.
Okay, next case, 208 to 210 Race Street. Jeremy, you here?
I am here.
Okay, Jeremy, is there anybody else going to be being a witness
Yes.
or on this
Yes,
case or just?
Neil Campbell is also on.
Okay, all right, just you two?
Yes.
Okay, Jeremy, could you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, and state your name?
I do. Jeremy Lecomte with Harmon Deutsch Oler Architecture.
Okay, the next guy, Neil, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do. I want to representing the Race Street Cafe.
Okay, and state your name?
Neil Campbell.
Okay. I'm Wayne Miller, board member?
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Ogden, board member.
Pradeep Parekh, board member.
Aaron Rodden, Board Counsel.
Matthew Webster, Board Counsel.
Shakir Cohen, Illinois Supervisor.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Could you please put that into the record?
Okay, this is case number 9 on today's. 208 through 210 Race Street.
Okay, all right. Jeremy, you want to, whoever's going to present the case, please do.
Okay. May I share my screen?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet, but it's coming up. There we go.
Okay. Are you looking at the same floor plan here?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So the variance that we're requesting is essentially to create an opening in the existing rear wall of this one-story restaurant structure. The property line as it exists in the field is at this rear wall, which is what generated the refusal and why we're here. But the way this property is effectively used, the rear yard behind this building is essentially outdoor dining for this restaurant. And we have a seating easement established for use of this rear yard area in connection with the existing restaurant. So while the property line exists at the rear line, the effective fire separation distance is over 16 feet to the next property line. That said, we would like to create a small breach in the rear wall to connect the outdoor dining to the indoor dining. This is a 5-foot wide set of doors. And it would connect this deck area to the existing dining room.
Is that rear yard under a separate ownership?
This rear yard is owned by a separate property owner that fronts Second Street, and the easement was created on that property for use by Neil and his operation.
Was the easement uploaded as part of the appeal package?
I may not have included that, but I can.
Yeah, are you able to share the easement?
Sure.
Thank you.
I have it open. I do have it open. Yeah. Yes, so sorry if I didn't upload a copy of this, but this is the access easement agreement that was
recorded by Neil's attorney to allow for access of the adjacent Second Street property via his restaurant.
Is the restaurant sprinklered?
The existing restaurant is not sprinklered. It's an existing one-story structure with egress discharging at grade, so it is not required to be sprinkled.
Does this yard have access to a public right-of-way in the event of an emergency?
Yes, there's an existing side yard adjacent to the restaurant. There's an existing kitchen door that already discharges to that side yard. And the rear seating area would have access to that same path to the Race Street right-of-way.
Okay.
As well as an option to go back through the restaurant.
Okay. John, you have any issues with this?
No, Wayne, I'm good.
Okay. I'm in favor of granting the variance.
I'm in favor of granting the variance with the proviso that if the neighbor ever stops the use of the rear yard for seating, that this would have to be closed.
I'm in agreement.
Would like to add one more proviso, as the door to the Race Street public right-of-way be a functioning panic hardware door that allows all occupants to leave. No locking, nothing like that.
So, did you hear that, Jeremy?
Yeah, can I ask for clarification? Do you mean discharging from the restaurant to the rear dining area? That's how you want the hardware to be
No.
positioned?
No, the occupants in the rear dining area, the outside seating area, for them to get to Race Street, they can't, encounter a door that swings against their direction of travel. They can't encounter a locked door, and any latching hardware on the gate that provides security from the right of way into the property
Okay.
is panic hardware.
On the gate, we're talking.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Before each member will need to vote on the specific proviso. I believe the first couple of votes were just to grant the variance.
So we would have two provisos now.
Okay.
I am in agreement with both provisos.
I'm in agreement also with both provisos.
I'm in agreement with both provisos.
I'm in agreement. Thank you.
With both provisos.
Both provisos, yes.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. No problem. Talk to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Okay, next case. League Island.
Oops.
You guys can all come up and chairs if you want, if you need to. Just make sure you speak into the microphone.
You can pull a chair up if you want. Pull the chairs up. Yeah, no problem. Okay. That's okay. Where's League Island?
League Island is at the Philadelphia, is at the Philadelphia Navy Yard.
I thought it was there. Yeah, I thought, yeah. Yeah, wow. Okay.
Should we display or can we just show our?
Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, put them up. What do you want? Yeah, go ahead.
Put the board up? Okay. Yes.
Give us everything you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is new, I'm used to being at the MSB.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, but come closer with the boards because we're old.
Yeah, bring that right here. Amy, you good?
No, make sure we can still see it on the. Okay.
Oh, sure. Okay. 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 Okay, good. Okay, Ted, look at me here, reach your eyes here. There you go, take it out. Why we're doing all this?
Don't have this. Oh, no.
Where's Dimes at? Can you see that, Dimes? Okay.
I mean, we can pull it back.
Yeah, pull it back. If we need to pull it up, we'll pull it up.
Sam, what?
How's that?
Kinda-
Cattywampus, pull that around. There you go, how's that? Can you raise that leg up over there on the left? Make it level? Okay, aim coming to you. There you go. You're close. Okay. You want to get started? Okay.
Yes.
All right, now you got to move that picture so I can. Okay, here we go. Is anyone a lawyer with this group? Okay, so you don't have to be sworn in because you always tell the truth.
Thank you.
Okay. Everybody else is testifying? Let's start right on the end. State your name and raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
My name is Samuel Cush. I'm with Benoni Associates. I swear to tell the truth, only the truth, and nothing but the truth.
Way to go. Right?
I'm Elizabeth Norton with Panoni Associates, and I do.
You swear to tell the truth?
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
Okay,
truth.
good. Where's, he's hiding back there.
Joe Goldschmidt, I'm with CBRE on behalf of PIDC. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay, good deal.
I'm sorry, this is the court reporter. I did not hear that.
You didn't hear Joe? Joe, be a little louder.
Bad microphone. Joe Goldschmidt, CBRE on behalf of PIDC, the owner. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yep, good deal. Okay, whoever's going to, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Agus, board member.
Pretty Prague, board member.
Aaron Rodden, Board Counsel.
Matthew Webster, Board Counsel.
Akira Cohen, Illinois Supervisor.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Excuse me, this is the reporter. Just for my clarity, was that Elizabeth Quigley, the attorney?
I'll state my name and spell for you in 1 second. I just wanted to let the board continue their introductions.
Good, Elizabeth.
Is that
Tell us
okay?
who you are.
So my name's Eileen Quigley, Quigley. I'm here on behalf of PIDC. I'm from Ballard Spar LLP, 1735 Market Street, 51st floor. Good morning, Chair and members of the board.
Okay, good.
We appreciate you taking the time today to hear us. What's this?
I just have to read it.
She just has to read it into the thing.
This is case number 10, MI 2026-001588 for 4501 League Island Boulevard.
Thank you so
Eileen,
much.
go ahead.
So good morning, everybody. As I said, we're here today. We have a refusal from L&I in connection to a dirt stockpile that is on 4501 League Island Boulevard, also known as the Navy Yard. This application is very unique. It's related to the expansion of an existing dirt pile. It does not fit squarely within the code regulations. This isn't fill that's here on the property to elevate a property or a building. This isn't a building that's being constructed that we need to meet any base flood elevations. This is a stockpile. It's a clean stockpile. We have Joe Goldschmidt who will testify about what that means. And we have Elizabeth Norton and Sam.
I'm sorry. This is the reporter. I'm losing
Oh,
you.
you need to, okay. All right, you know what, we're looking at this map right now. Let me pull out what this actually is showing. So as I said, this is a stockpile we're here for today. It's a dirt stockpile. The reason why it's here is because they're using it for construction on the site of the Navy Yard. So this current stockpile is going to be about over 300,000 square feet, but it's on a small parcel of land in the Navy Yard that's over 50 acres. And of course, the whole Navy Yard is probably over 1,000 acres. So this is all development that has to do with the Navy Yard under its master plan. And this stockpile is there to facilitate that construction. As you're looking at right now, the map, it's showing that the stockpile is over 2,400 feet away from any residential development. It's 922 feet away from the nearest road, which is internal to the Navy Yard site. So it's not a public right of way. It's 65 feet and 37 feet from the nearest property line, but the adjacent properties are either owned by PIDC, or they're vacant. The buildings on there are vacant. It's 450 feet to the nearest building, 3,800 feet to the nearest right of way, and 1,436 feet away from the river and the bulkhead, and 1,179 feet away from any wave action. So just for the board's knowledge, we submitted the appeal for variance, the notice of refusal, a photo log, this rendering, which is the east end stockpile. as well as letters from Pennsylvania. So they had to do a PIND application, the Pennsylvania Natural Diversity Inventory application. They received letters back of no adverse impact or no anticipated or adverse impacts from the PA Fish and Boat Commission, the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, the Bureau of Wildlife Management Game Commission, and we also included a letter of map change form and a firm map. So with that, I would just like to have Joe Goldschmidt answer some questions about why the stockpile's here, why PIDC needs it here, how it's cleaned, and we'll go on.
Okay. Good.
Can you describe why we need this pile added to the existing stockpile?
Yeah, so the, with the 2022 master plan, we have ambitious growth plans and we need extra space, believe it or not, to account for all the soil we're going to need as part of the construction sequence.
And can you tell us how, I mentioned in the introduction that this is clean soil. Can you explain to the board what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we follow all federal and state guidelines on PA clean fill. We have at the Navy Yard a management of clean fill policy, which means prior to any soil being brought to the Navy Yard, it is tested. It's tested actually at a higher standard than PA clean fill. And then after we receive that testing, we then share that with our environmental lawyers to confirm that it's acceptable. Once it's accepted, then it'll be brought in and documented.
And how do you maintain it as a clean stockpile?
Yeah, so one of the management practices, it has to be checked weekly or whenever there's a rainstorm. So we check it weekly, we check it daily with our security team, make sure there's no one else going back to this area, make sure there's no mystery piles or anything like that. So we check it pretty regularly.
And with regard to that, can you explain to the board also what measures are in place for you to make sure nobody's getting near the stockpile, either people or animals?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it is to the far east end of the Navy Yard, if you're not familiar. We have, again, with security presence there, we also have signage up, no trespassing, all those things like that. And we patrol it regularly.
And is that a daily security
Daily.
check? And can you explain to the board how this location was chosen for the stockpile?
Yeah, so the Navy Yard is large, but there are only a few areas, really only two, that are suitable. To the west, which is the industrial area, there is a large piece of land, but that's an environmental cap. And there's concerns with the soil being placed over that environmental cap. The area to the east is undeveloped. There's the existing pile there now. It's not near anything. There's no tenants. The structures are all vacant, and it's out of the way.
And with regard to the stockpile, I know that there's a plan in the making right now for some development. So basically the code says it isn't temporary because it's over 180 days. So why do we need it more than 180 days?
Just with constructing the buildings at the Navy Yard, the soil kind of comes and goes, and the next building, I think the next development plan is between a year or 2 years out. But during that whole time, the soil kind of, again, comes and goes.
Okay, so you're taking from the pile as it exists for projects that are ongoing.
Correct.
Thank you, Joe.
All that soil is brought in from the outside, not from the Navy Yard itself?
For this new area, we would need to bring in soil from the outside,
Okay.
yeah.
And this is to be clean fill for any new buildings?
Correct.
And what's that designated for? Is that designated for one building that you're doing?
It'd be for the use for any future
okay.
buildings, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Is the intention that this will be replenished as soils are taken from it for future construction?
So the area will accept as much as we need. The way the soil moves around the site, it's used for like a new building comes online, and it'll be used for compaction of the soil. So it'll be surcharging for a while and then go back to the site, things of that nature.
So as it's depleted, I assume that any new soil that's brought in to this new site will be subject to the same kind of, inspections and requirements?
Correct. Yeah, that's all part of the management of fill policy.
And when you say clean soil, is it structural fill or is it purely environmentally clean? Is it suitable for compaction for
Yeah, it's
the
not
buildings that might be
necessarily,
built here?
right, not necessarily structural fill. It's clean fill for environmental. If it is needed, it's usually used for surcharge. So they take it to a site, they pile it up so that it consolidates the underlying soils, and then they remove it. If soil does need to be used for structural fill, we'll test it on an individual basis to see if it can be used for structural.
And just one last question. In terms of what's underneath this site and also under the existing stockpile, is that all? I know there's areas where there's chasms of collapsed, like the bottom of a building, there's nothing there. Is this, a place that it will not change the character of it by having the soil placed there? It can support it and not.
That's correct.
alter
Yeah,
it.
it
Okay.
can support the soils.
Are you seeking a letter of map change? Are you seeking a letter of map change?
No, and we have Sam Cush and Elizabeth Norton here to talk about the technical elements of the appeal and the application.
Hi, this is Sam Cush. As you can see on on the board, there's two colored nodes. There's a blue and a red. The blue is the existing stockpile area. The red is where they are proposing to add the additional stockpile areas. These stockpiles will be stabilized as soon as they are placed. The operators will be putting in seating, temporary or permanent, accordingly to how long it's going to be stabilized there for. They will also be putting in the appropriate erosion sediment controls, whether that's compost filter stock or silt fence that goes around the entire perimeter of the site, or rock construction entrance for where they enter and bring the soils into the site. If there is slopes that are going to be greater than 3-to-1 vertical to horizontal, they will be utilizing erosion control blankets as a way to make sure that those soils do stay in place and they don't leave the permit area. So the whole argument here about the LOMC process is this is really meant to be for projects that are intended to affect the hydrologic and hydrological conditions of what's existing there. These stockpiles, as I noted previously, are meant to be temporary in condition. They're going to be taking soils to them and from them on an as-needed basis continuously. And once all the work is finally done, or they decide that they do need to develop this particular parcel, they are going to removing all of these soils and then establishing the grades to pre-stockpile conditions. So ultimately, we are not changing what is going to be laying there until they decide to go in and start development of that area, in which case they'll do all the necessary work that needs to be done, and these soils will be taken off.
Just to begin, to make sure I get my bearings, what are the elevation differences between the bottom of the stockpile and the 100-year floodplain elevation?
So the current elevation pre-stockpile conditions around elevation 2. These stockpiles are planning to range from about 2 up to 12 feet. We do have a maximum requirement of 20 feet, which is per PADEP requirements, so we will not be exceeding that. All of the ENS controls will also be following PADEP requirements for erosion and sediment control. We are in the flood hazard elevation, so I believe in our area it's at elevation 10. Starting at elevation 2 as our base, when they're bringing soils on and off, there may be times where that soil may be above that base flood elevation, which is where that LOMC might come in. But as saying, these are living stockpiles, so soils are going to be coming on and off, going above and below that base flood elevation on a regular basis.
Yeah, and just to clarify, that elevation 10 is in NGBD datum, NGBD 29. So the city of Philadelphia datum relative to elevation 2 and 12 that Sam mentioned is actually 4.2. So the base flood elevation is elevation 4.2.
Say that again? Base flood elevation?
The base flood elevation is 4.2 in city datum.
4.2. Your erosion and sediment control, has that been submitted to PWD?
Yes, these plans have been submitted to DEP and PWD, and we do have permits from them in place already.
Does the erosion control take into consideration like the flooding and then the drainage of the floodplain? Or is it just whatever PWD's model requires?
They're designed to DEP's requirements. So PWD follows DEP. So we're following DEP requirements. Mostly right now it's compost filter sock and silt fence surrounding it, and rock construction entrances.
I'm sorry, this is the court reporter. I'm having difficulty hearing.
Sorry about that. So yes, we do have ENS controls in that are currently in accordance with DEP requirements. That includes compost filter sock or silt fence around the entire perimeter of each of these stockpiles. There won't be just one stockpile. There will be multiple stockpiles in this overall area. Each individual stockpile will have their own compost filter sock or silt fence around the perimeter. They'll all each individually get their seating and, if necessary, the erosion control blanket when slopes are exceeding 2 to 1.
Is the point of why I'm asking is can the perimeter be considered some type of barrier, at least up to flood elevation? It may not go up to all of the soil, but at least up to flood elevation to stop that soil being carried out of the site onto becoming an issue for other parcels when there's a flooding event.
Correct. Yeah, the soils are stabilized in accordance with DEP standards so that if there is a flood, the soils will not be carried off site. And these compost filter socks and silt fences that Sam mentioned are specifically designed to provide that sort of barrier.
And just only question is the request that you don't have to file this? Has someone required you to file an LOMC or?
Yes.
Yeah, so the refusal was that the temporary storage exceeds 180 days and the grading and fill being in the flood hazard area. Now, there's nothing that's cited under the code section, but if you can see in bold at the bottom of the refusal, it does say applicant proposes storing. It's not uncontrollable, as you've heard, so we do take issue with it being categorized or defined as an uncontrollable fill. It isn't. But they did say that the applicant is not choosing to go through the LOMC process. And as Sam and Elizabeth have stated, it's because it doesn't really apply. It doesn't apply at all. If you see the documents that we've submitted, as well as the testimony of Sam and Elizabeth.
Any other questions?
Can you swear Jeffrey Tan in case he has a comment?
Jeffrey, you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, Jeffrey, could you please raise your right hand?
Yes.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And state your name, Jeffrey?
Jeffrey Tan, staff engineer for license and inspections.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Jeffrey?
No, I don't think I do. I think I don't know what the full length of time the stockpile will be there. But I'll have some additional comments to provide around this. Is like why does the stockpile have to be in the flood the zone AE flood zone? It could be located somewhere else off site. But I that's up to I guess the project team to explain. And I'll also add that the NFIP has guidances around variances issuances based on exceptional hardship. But those guidelines for exceptional hardships are based on the property itself. So shouldn't be anything around personal circumstances, just to advise everyone, including the board.
So just to answer that first question about why it's stored on site as opposed to off site, the Navy Yard does have like an Act 2 clearance through DEP. And as Joe mentioned earlier, there's a pretty substantial management of fill policy specific to the Navy Yard. So once material is taken off-site, it would have to be retested in order to bring it back into the site. So once it's tested, we've selected this location at the east end really to keep it where we know where it is. We have all of the testing data. PIDC has an environmental attorney who houses all that testing data. And we really need to track the soil because taking it off-site, again, would require retesting it.
Same back. Okay. Jeffrey, anything else?
I don't. I think the board probably has enough information from this point on. I'll just add that the request around the letter of map change was because of the fact that if the soil wasn't going to remain is going to remain there more than 180 days, we don't have a way by right to allow that soil to remain by code based on Appendix G. That's the context around the letter of map change request.
Is there any level of compaction happening at the soil?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Is there any level of compaction occurring at the soil stockpile?
No, so this is intended to be a temporary soil stockpile. So it is not being brought in and compacted for permanent placement. It is, as we noted before, being stabilized because it is, in place for longer than the period on our noted on our ENS plans.
Your erosion control, I know you mentioned it's per DEP.
I'm sorry,
Sorry, I'm speaking to the microphone. Sorry. You mentioned the erosion control is per DEP and PWD standards. I don't know what they are, but has the project team looked at the erosion control with respect to floodplain specifically? Either flooding event, meaning it overtops any barrier, or drainage, which meaning it liquefies and basically carries the soil away, becoming a hazard to other properties.
Yes, that's correct. And we've also had a geotechnical engineer review the pile and look at it for those properties.
Okay. And what were the findings? That the barrier being proposed is sufficient?
Yes, that as the existing stockpile as in place currently is sufficient, and our proposed stockpile is going to be put in place in a similar manner.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? Dimes, do you have any questions?
No, Wayne, I'm good.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll grant the variance of the, 180 days?
There's no 180.
No,
There's no 180 days? Okay. Fine. I will grant the variance. Okay. I'm in favor of it.
I'm in favor of granting this variance.
I'm in agreement.
I'm in agreement.
Okay. Good luck.
Just for, because I will write the notice of decision, can you summarize how I should phrase the variance that you are seeking?
Well, we would be looking to have a variance from the code section related to temporary storage and seek to have this beyond 180 days as required under the code, as well as not requiring us to go through the letter of map change process. And let me ask Elizabeth, how would you want that phrase for B 1804.5 grading and fill in flood hazard areas? I mean, that you would grant a variance from that as well.
Could we phrase it as grading and fill placed in the flood hazard area is being installed in accordance with PADEP standards?
Okay, so we'd have a variance from that as.
That's we're citing a regulation. We have no.
Right, so we would just say that we would seek a variance from B 1804.5. Unless it's first place.
Yeah.
As it meets or exceeds what's required under that regulation.
Yeah, if I could offer this, you are sloping and providing some barrier. So the only thing that's not being technically met, and I'll ask LNI to confirm if I'm interpreting this properly, is that you're not compacting the soil to withstand flood hazard conditions.
Correct, it's not.
Yeah,
You are
that's
sloping and you are, yeah.
that's correct. That's why the language was used around uncontrolled. Just to clarify our position.
So the,
Thank you.
my interpretation of the variance is we're not, with granting a variance, so you don't have to compact the soil. All other protective measures that, as you described, need to be maintained.
Oh, yes, yes,
Is this
agreed.
one particular project or is it for a number of projects down there?
It's in support of a number of projects.
Okay, you're
So
getting ready for them 37 buildings or something like that?
I'm sorry?
You're getting ready for all those buildings that are going to be built down there?
Well.
That's the plan, yeah.
All right, I got it. All right, okay. So would this be indefinite, like for 10 years or is there a time frame?
I mean, I can't like commit to an exact timeline. Our next project is about a year, year and a half out, but you know, there's a lot of outside factors that slow, you know, development down. One of them being just the financial markets, right? But the hope is that this is for several, the next, call it phase 2 of development of the Navy Yard to expand.
All right.
So I'll make sure that the board is on board with the phrasing. But what I have right now, granting a variance, the board recommends granting a variance from the code section relating to temporary storage limit of 180 days, such that there is no requirement for LOMC. Compacting shall not be required, but other precautions as presented at the hearing will be in place.
Right. That sounds like it covers it all to me,
Okay,
to us.
yeah, I'm good with it.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right,
We appreciate
good luck.
everybody's assistance.
All right, thanks.
That concludes my business. May I please be excused?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Have a wonderful holiday weekend.
You didn't raise
All
your
right,
hand.
thanks, everyone.
You gotta raise your hand and be excused.
Get something.
I forgot a bathroom.
Yeah,
Just pause Okay. Is anybody a lawyer? Okay, so I'm going to have to swear you all in and you got to give me your name. I'll start with you.
John Prendergast?
John, could you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
I'm sorry, this is the reporter. I did not
Okay, we
hear
are,
that.
John. Sorry, pal. Okay, John Pendergrass, you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Go ahead.
Christopher Kenny.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth? Please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, good.
Megan McGee.
Okay, Megan, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, is there anyone else online or anything, or just you three guys?
It is just the three of us.
Okay, Wayne Miller, board member?
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Igus, board member.
Pretty Breck, board member.
Aaron Rodden, Board Counsel.
Matthew Webster, board counsel.
Shakir Cohen, LNI supervisor.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Okay, Deb, could you read that into the record, please?
Certainly. This is
Okay.
case 11, MI 2026-001758 for 303 North Broad Street.
Whoever's going to present the case, please do.
That would be me.
Okay.
Megan, are you connected? So folks online. Okay. So the presentation is also showing to people online. This is Roman Catholic High School. We're on page 1 for those following with paper copies. Located at the corner of Broad and Vine. These are existing conditions. The area that we'll be talking about today is part of new construction that will adjoin these 2 buildings and will be located principally over that parking lot. There's a good deal of renovation that's going to happen in the existing buildings as well. So the second slide shows where we're going. At the left side of the image is the 1892 building, the sort of historic Roman Catholic high school structure we're all used to at the corner of Broad and Vine. In the middle is Renaissance Hall, which was built in 1996. And then there's a glass atrium space that you can see. And to the right of that, a new STEM center and gymnasium. So we'll be focused today on that connecting structure between the STEM center and gymnasium and the existing campus buildings. something to keep in mind here is that there are really 3 centuries of construction, 1892, 1996, and 2026. And the 1892 construction is separated from the balance of the construction by 2-hour equivalent construction. So we'll walk through the plans here just so you know, have some background for our request and can understand what the project is. So on the left side in the gray hatch is obviously the 301 building. There's a stair tower and a lot of masonry that creates that 2-hour equivalent fire barrier. That's not necessarily critical to our review of the plan, but it is good to know that it is there since this is doesn't impact our exiting strategy. And it may figure in our subsequent conversation, so I'm making you aware of it now. There's an open courtyard in the middle, and that's why there's a discontinuity in that 2-hour equivalent fire barrier. So that green line is showing you the existing construction and the new construction. At the ground floor to the right, we have largely parking. In the renovated area, we have an expanded existing cafeteria to add a new kitchen, some existing toilets and administrative spaces. And the area we'll be focusing on is right, the existing construction, new construction cut right through it, and we'll look at that in more detail on subsequent slides. Upstairs is the STEM center. The orange indicate lab benches. You can see there's an egress stair in the upper right corner of the plan at the easternmost extent. There is another exit stair located just to the right of the line showing existing and new construction. That does not have a landing at this floor. That serves the assembly use at the gym upstairs. And we'll get to that in a minute. And then you can see there is an exit stair in the area we'll be talking about, which has been reviewed as an atrium. And that is right where you see the green arrow pointing to that section of the plan where it says new construction, connection between new STEM center, et cetera, et cetera. So then we get upstairs. There's one connection to the atrium at this level. It's the doors from the gym. If you are in the gym and there is a fire, you have 3 choices of exits. The main stair, which goes through that atrium, is large because it's sized per code requirements to accommodate half of the occupant load of the gym. Has to be that main stair. So now, getting into the technical particulars. The atrium is obviously the 3rd floor plan. It's type 3B construction. It's fully sprinklered building. And you can see that there's roof to the plan west of this 3rd floor level. Here are all 3 atrium plans side by side. The plan as submitted has 1-hour construction wrapping the atrium per code requirements. It has closely spaced sprinklers at window openings and rated door assemblies in the 1-hour construction around the atrium. That red shows the boundary of that 1-hour construction. Does anyone have any questions? I'm kind of blowing through this, or everybody's well oriented. Okay,
keep going.
Oh, I should say a priority for Roman is transparency through this atrium. The idea is to create a kind of contiguous STEM center at the 2nd floor, and to create a contiguous classroom experience, and candidly to have a recruiting tool for students. So somebody visiting the school will be able to wander through these spaces, look into classrooms, see the kids learning, and see the Roman education in progress. Okay, the request. So this was reviewed as an atrium. Smoke control is required because the construction connects more than 2 stories. The section at the right gives you a sense of the degree and kind of those openings. This is showing the connection to the gym at the east elevation. The west elevation, because there's a roof there, is 2 stories high. So our problem area is this set of windows and doors at the 3rd floor. The construction set up to comply with the requirements for an atrium were it equipped with a smoke evac system. It has smoke rated glass, it has closely spaced sprinklers, it has the 1-hour fire barrier assembly. The reason for this request is candidly that a smoke evacuation system is an incredible burden on the project financially, an already stretched project, because it carries with it a requirement for backup generator power, and it's a tough ask. So that fact made us take a closer look at the smoke evac requirement. And what we bring to you today is an argument to eliminate the smoke evacuation system because, one, we're complying with the requirements of the Life Safety Code, NFPA 101, which allows for an atrium to include 3 stories without the requirement for smoke evac in a fully sprinklered building. There'll be nothing stored in this space. It's for circulation only. There are ample alternate exits from all levels at all floors. The doors will be on automatic hold opens. And so that's our request for relief. We have other alternatives that we submitted in the request for relief that we could discuss if necessary, but that's our request.
As submitted, what's the intent with the glazing on the 2nd level? I mean, you've called for smoke-rated glass, et cetera, up on the top level. Is the intent to do nothing on the ones?
All 3 levels will receive smoke-rated glass. All 3 levels will receive fire-rated doors, and all 3 levels will receive closely.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you go over the NFPA 101 requirements?
Sure. They're actually on page 11 of your deck. There they are on the left-hand side. So we're looking at this as a communicating space. And if you look at item number 1 under 8.6.6, the communicating space does not connect more than 3 contiguous stories. We connect 3 contiguous stories. And I've highlighted the requirement for the building to be fully sprinklered.
This is an assembly occupancy, so you have the gymnasium and assembly
The
occupancy.
gym is an assembly
Is
occupancy.
it allowed to use communicating space? So it says unless prohibited by chapters 11 through 43, and I don't know what that is referring to.
I have to be candid, I would have to look at that to, I don't remember what the, Megan, do you remember chapter 11 on the top of your head? I do not, I'd have to look up the code reference.
Off the top of my head, I can't quote it.
Can Ellen and I assist with this to look up that provision?
Mhm.
I'm trying to see if I can find it. PA
I'm trying to find it.
It's that moment when I wish I'd brought a copy of NFPA 101 with me.
I'm sure L&I has a copy of that, don't they?
Not on hand.
We're an NFPA
Uh,
city, so we're not an NFPA jurisdiction.
I can actually get that information, but I'd probably need a couple minutes to do it.
Okay, you got a couple minutes. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go on, Sure.
Going for it.
Yeah. We don't want you guys back here again.
Thank you for that.
Well, we don't use this standard anyway, so the addition would, technically, I guess you could say it's an addition.
The reason that we went to NFPA 101, the Life Safety Code, is that in other jurisdictions where we practice, it's used as the building code. So in West Virginia, for example, in jurisdictions in West Virginia, they use the Life Safety Code instead of IBC.
Philadelphia's just a little bit different than West Virginia.
Philadelphia is following the nation. It kind of makes us nuts when we're in West Virginia, but there you go. You trying to get
Do you have any other questions while you're looking that up?
Well, I was going to go through the actual requirements of 8.6.6. So the first one is you have barriers between the atrium and the assembly space. You have doors and
Yes.
So the intent of 3A is that if you have a communicating space that allows smoke to travel up unobstructedly, people have to be able to recognize that there's smoke in that space immediately before the system activates, before there's any delay. That's why I believe it's talking about readily obvious to the occupants, not to the system, not to the fire alarm system. If occupants can't see there's a smoke in that volume, and you've designed it so that they aren't protected by that volume, there's no smoke exhaust, the rating is reduced to 1 hour, how will they recognize that, especially when one of the stairs is where they have to egress?
Well, they can look through the windows.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that readily obvious.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, this is the reporter. I'm having difficulty.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So I was just saying, like, looking through windows and doors, or looking through, having to approach the space before you can determine if you can enter it. I don't believe that's the intent of readily obvious.
Well, I'm not sure how else you would do that, because like if you go back to the section on page 10 of your document, so you can see they're doors with glazing in them. They're transoms above the doors with glazing in them. And then there are windows along that wall of the gym. So, and all of those offer a view from the gym, from the assembly space, directly into the atrium. I'm open to other, your other suggestions, but that's what we're doing to meet that provision.
One thing to clarify, your section's cut looking east
Mhm.
of the atrium.
Yep.
On the west side of the atrium, on the upper level, there's an existing roof, I guess.
There is. Yep.
It's there. Is basically the requirements for the atrium, and I'm not sure what's being required because of the atrium, what's being required because of the gymnasium, and I guess the focus is on the wall with the gymnasium. Is there any requirement, do the other walls of the atrium at the third floor matter at all, what you do with them? Is it really the separation with the gym?
Thank you for that question, because it's my favorite kind. It's the one I actually have prepared an answer to. Okay, so in our code review, the A and E uses in the building do not have a required separation. The garage has separation requirements from one accessory use, B, within the building. But that 1 hour is a function of the atrium and is in the atrium section of IBC. I haven't stated that clearly, it looks like.
So that says a 1 hour separation between the atrium and adjacent space?
Correct, yes.
That does not include the exterior walls, whether they're.
Does not include the exterior walls of the building. No, it does not.
And forgive my.
No,
ignorance on
how
this,
about
but,
it?
If the atrium had exhaust,
Mm-hmm.
would that relieve the requirement for the 1 hour separation?
It would not.
Okay.
No, we've satisfied all of the requirements per IBC 2018 for an atrium, whether it connects 2 stories or more, with the exception of the smoke evac, which kicks in at 3 stories. So the intent of the NFPA 101 citation is to say, well, in other jurisdictions, that requirement, if you look at this as a communicating space, does not kick in until you are above 3 stories. And I'm pretty sure that the 3-story definition kicked in, it may have kicked in 2015. It has not always been there. I should do my homework before saying that, but it has not always been there. Neither of us are able to get Wi-Fi, and so can't get the chapter.
I am trying to pull up the 2021 version.
You're trying, yeah, okay.
It's taking a while.
You're pretty. I cannot find it right now.
I know.
You have to actually log into NFPA to get it.
The only other question I have with regards to this is condition 6, talking about occupants within the communicating space. So I'll read from it. It basically says, allow all occupants of all levels within the communicating space to simultaneously egress the communicating space by considering as a single floor area in determining the required egress capacity. Can you just speak to how that was confirmed in terms of egress?
Yeah, I mean, when we, as demonstrated by the life safety plans included with our application, that stair can accommodate the load of the gymnasium and any other occupant load that would potentially be discharged by that stair.
No, but this is saying all floors simultaneous.
I did look at that. The way I read that is per IBC's definition of how a stair is used. Everybody is going into a stair at the same time simultaneously, but you calc the width of the stair to the maximum occupant load for the largest floor, given that people are, going down the stairs and getting out of the building. You don't have all, in this instance, 3 levels trying to access the 3rd floor simultaneously.
No, but this is requiring you to do that.
I don't,
Am I reading it?
Oh, all right, well then that's.
All levels within the compartment, communicating space to simultaneously egress the communicating space by considering it as a single floor area. So you take all levels, compress them into a single floor, that gives you the occupant load for the communicating space. That's my initial reading of it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I guess, to settle the matter, I would have to go to NFPA and get an interpretation from them, because we're obviously looking at it differently. But I did note that as well in going through the list of qualifications.
It should be further noted that the occupant load accommodated through this 3-story space from the 3rd floor is accommodating 50% of the occupant load for the 3rd floor, even though there are 3 exits. So the occupant load that's sized for is larger than if we were to say divide that occupant load by 3, or across the widths that are available to it. So to apply this NFPA simultaneous egress requirement, I would ask it, or need to maybe do some further research to understand if the 50% occupant load at level 3 is still applied, since they're really.
Yeah, this does, it might be you've accounted for it by just doing it that way. I don't see a 50% here, so it might end up being like 50% is more than, I don't know, 50%. So it'd be 50% of 480 versus, I don't know how that would, take it back. I don't know how that would meet this requirement. Because 50%, if I'm not mistaken, is you're considering the main exit from the gymnasium, because that's how they walked into the gym.
Yeah, that's how we
which,
we were applying it in our design.
Okay. I don't have any other technical. I think those are the only 2 concerns I have. Is how can occupants be readily how can they readily see something like a hazard, smoke enveloping the communicating space, because you don't have smoke control, and whether or not you have sufficient egress capacity per the intent of this provision.
So I guess to take those in order, the first issue I think we'd have to satisfy by getting by reaching out to NFPA for technical assistance and getting an interpretation of language. The second item, I'm not sure how else to address whether occupants can see smoke in the stair beyond the windows that we've provided. I mean, it's a direct visual line of sight. And worst case scenario, if you get up to the door, there's glazing in the doors. So you should be able to see from some distance away, and then also up close, whether there is smoke on the other side of that partition.
I guess we could call, because
Okay. All right.
And this is completely sealed off from the existing building.
Sorry?
Are there any openings in the wall from the existing building into this space?
Yes, there are on the west side. So if you go to sheet 8, for example, at the first floor, there's a door and some glazing. On the second floor, there are also doors and some glazing, and those are protected in the same way as the doors and glazing on the west side. On the east side, there are automatic hold opens, and they're closely spaced sprinklers.
Okay, so they all have glazing. You'd be able to see into.
Oh yeah, no, it's the same it's the same condition at every floor. So.
And sorry, so does the building otherwise meet NFPA 101? Is it just this aspect you want to apply?
I have to level with you. We did not review it under NFPA 101. We reviewed it under IBC, and when we were looking for some further, when we were looking for how other codes treated the same circumstance, we went to a code that we used in other jurisdictions, and that code was NFPA 101. So it was, we looked at a specific circumstances, not holistically.
Yes. So we're going to caucus for a minute, okay?
Okay.
Oh, hey, Dimes, what do you think of this?
Yeah, this one's a tough one in that, the building code, it's pretty clear that it requires the smoke evac system. Obviously, the least amount of smoke in a fire situation, no matter what your scenarioing would be better. But, you know, NFP 101 is a legitimate resource to doing that. It's really a matter of how you guys want to interpret that. We've used NFPA 101 in the fire code to solve some problems also. So again, I think probably by a close scrutiny level, you would probably, you know, go with our building code, but using the alternative of NFPA 101, it you know, it wouldn't be a bad call either. So, I mean, obviously you guys are on the board, but I wouldn't stand in your way either decision to make.
Thanks, John.
All right.
Appreciate it, pal. Okay. We'll be a minute, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Sorry it took too long, so long. Pradeep,
Yeah, so I
tell them what we come up with.
I'll make a motion to grant the variance with provisos. And they are that we, the communication.
Excuse me, I'm still
Can't hear
having
you.
trouble hearing.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that better? So I make a motion to grant the variance with provisos. The communicating opening meets the requirements of NFPA 101, section 8.6.6, and the following two items are incorporated. The window sills from the gymnasium space are no higher than 4 feet above finished floor to make the communicating opening readily visible from the floor area of the gym. And the stairway within the communicating opening that serves as egress be designed for the greater of the two following conditions. 8.6.6, item 6, which talks about all levels egressing simultaneously, or 50% of the Group A space as the IBC required main exit, the greater of the two.
Okay, all right, I agree to the variance.
I'm in agreement with the variance and the provisos.
I'm in agreement with the variance with the provisos.
Yep. Okay,
I agree.
good luck,
Thank
guys.
you. Wow, that was a lot of work. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Especially for Roman.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, guys.
We did a little homework on the exiting proviso. I understand it's not part of the hearing, but can we show you our homework and just get your, see if you concur? Because I think we can satisfy that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want to show us?
Yeah, okay.
This is not part of the hearing.
This is.
Off record.
This is off the record.
Just to confirm, we are off the record?
You got it, John. We're off the record.
Thank you.
5 Germantown Avenue? Okay. And how many guys here do we got here from Germantown Avenue?
So my name is Richard Gallagher. I'm an architect with Metcalf Architecture and Design. We're here on behalf of Mount Airy CDC, who are the owners of the property. And here today with Mount Airy CDC are Philip Dawson and Earl DeMond.
Okay, here's what we got to do. I got to swear you guys in. If you're not a lawyer, I don't have to swear you in. But if you aren't a lawyer, I have to swear you in. So, Richard, could you raise are you a lawyer?
I am not.
Okay, could you raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and state your name?
I do swear. My name is Richard Gallagher.
Okay, who's the next guy? Philip? Are you in here, Philip? You a lawyer, Philip?
I am not.
Okay, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
And can you state your name, please?
Philip Dawson.
Okay, who else is going to be testifying? Eric, are you involved? Are you a lawyer, Eric?
I am not.
You look like one. You know what I mean? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Can you state your full name, please?
Earl Demone.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Pretty correct, board member.
Aaron Rodden, Board Counsel.
Matthew Webster, Board Counsel.
Shakir Cohen, LNI Supervisor.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Deborah Richardson, Boards Administration.
Okay, Deb, read it into the record, please.
Certainly. This is case number 12 on today's agenda, MI 2026-001794 for 6655 Germantown Avenue.
Okay, whoever's going to present the case, please do.
Well, thank you very much for the board's time this afternoon. As I said, I'm representing Mount Airy CDC, who are the owners of the property at 6655 Germantown Avenue, and also the developers of the proposed project. This is proposed to be an infill project, including a new 3-story building that will include affordable housing on the upper 2 floors. What we're asking for today is relief from the requirements of IBC Table 705.8, which prohibits windows in a wall where the fire separation distance is less than 3 feet. Due to the irregular shape of the property, as outlined here, designing a building on this site has been a challenge. And in order to try to maximize the number of viable dwelling units within the building, we are proposing a dwelling unit along the rear sort of panhandle portion of the property, with windows looking out at the adjacent properties along East Horter Street. So that wall in question is on the property line, and we recognize that by the letter of the code that does not provide a fire separation distance great enough to have unprotected windows. However, given the zoning of those properties being RSA 5, and knowing that they do face East Horter Street, we believe there's a required 9-foot rear yard setback for those properties, which would effectively mean that our fire separation distance would be 4.5 feet. And that would allow windows within 15% of the wall area by story. So we know this is an existing conditions plan based on a professional survey. The orientation has changed from the previous slide. Germantown Avenue is running horizontally in this plan. But we want to point out that based on that professional survey, we do believe that we know that the actual face of wall to face of wall distance to the adjacent existing buildings is greater than 10 feet. Another site plan that changes the orientation again, but here we have the proposed footprint of the building as it fits within the property, and the wall in question is this wall here, which again faces those properties on Porter Street. The floor plan of the 2 floors with dwelling units, so that we can see, and again, these are meant to be affordable housing units, which does carry certain requirements for light and air. They do need to be 1-bedroom units. We also are providing emergency escape and rescue windows out of the dwelling units. So a couple of these windows are serving that purpose as well. And then the elevation of the facade in question that shows the layout of the windows and dimensions totaling less than the 15% opening by per wall area per floor that would be allowed were we to classify this as a 4.5-foot fire separation distance. The last thing to share is we have deed descriptions here that show that there is a 3-foot wide alley along the back of the properties on Horder Street. So going back to this plan, we have there is an alley that exists based on the deed descriptions that is not currently showing up in Atlas, but we believe that we have access mentioned, because we have the emergency escape and rescue windows. We do in fact have access to that side of the building through that alley. That's what we've prepared this afternoon. Happy to answer any questions.
So Atlas is showing that the width of that dog leg, if you will, is 15 foot. But your drawing showed the width inside of the building back there is like 12 foot. Where's the extra 2 feet?
There is a discrepancy in between the meets and bounds of the recorded deed and the location, the actual location of the party wall with the adjacent building. I'm not sure if that accounts for the entire discrepancy you're pointing out, but that has been a condition we've been.
On your site plan, I see the 15.079 feet, which kind of matches up with what Atlas is saying.
Right, but that's that property line is not exactly. So here's 0.9 feet. So yeah, there's some overlap, I think, with the actual location of the party wall and the where the property line was described to be.
Okay. Yeah, on Atlas, it looks like there's a gap between the building to the left and your building, but.
Any questions, Ted?
Are you, but the building is protected throughout with a sprinkler system?
Yes, it is.
And what type of system is that?
NFPA 13.
Okay. And are all the windows operable? Are they required to be operable? Can some be fixed?
The intent was for all the windows to be operable, to be able to provide ventilation as well as the emergency escape function, but not all of them are required for that function. So,
okay. And with the alley, you're actually not 0 feet. You would be 1.5 feet then. When you're not even considering the setback.
correct, but even anything, I believe it's anything under 3 feet of separation distance would prohibit the openings.
And for the egress emergency windows, it wouldn't be adequate space, if that's what you were held to.
Right.
And just to be clear, the alley is not just perpendicular to Horder, but also along your kind of skinny leg here going.
Yes. Yeah, Atlas does show an alley here with access to Horder Street on this side. What Atlas does not show is the leg that runs parallel to Horder Street. But yes, it does create an L that does provide access to the public way along Horder Street.
Got it. And if we were to grant this, there would be a proviso that if anyone were to build as of right, that, reduced, the conditions, that are open right now, you would have to close up openings and accordingly.
I have a question.
Mhm.
All right, say you put these windows on the first floor, and now I own one of the houses that back into that, and now I don't have a rear yard or rear fence. What if I put up a rear fence and just block your windows?
The alleyway, I think.
Are we maintaining that alleyway?
Yes, the alley would be maintained
Okay, all right,
uh,
so,
along the face of our proposed wall.
okay. And then are you tied up against a building on the other side of that?
We are tied up against the building on this side. Is this where you're?
Okay.
Yes.
Dimes, you all right with this? Okay, all right.
What are the absolutely minimum required operable windows?
Money there?
I'm sorry, could you ask that again?
Are all windows along this alleyway required to be operable? And if so, how do they operate? Do they open into the alleyway? Are these double hung?
They were proposed to be casement windows, which would swing out into the alleyway.
Also, you need to put a sprinkler head over the center line of every window. Okay. Anything else? Want to caucus? Okay, yeah, we're going to caucus for a second. All right. All right, Deb. Okay, all right, we have a couple of provisos. Again, we need a sprinkler head over the center line of the windows, and the windows can open into the alley.
Okay.
Okay.
We can
All right.
do double hung. That's fine.
Yeah, whatever way
Or
you
single
can.
hung, or, in opening.
And that's the windows at every level on that facade.
Understood. Okay.
Okay,
Want to vote?
yeah, I'm in favor of the variance.
I'm in favor of this variance.
I'm in favor of the variance.
I'm in favor.
Okay, good luck, guys.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, and thank you for waiting.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
John, you're good to go, pal. Have a nice holiday, man.
Hey, guys, this is John Dimes. I'm going to roll too. Everybody have a good holiday, and talk to you soon, okay?
All right, Dimes, take it easy, pal.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good holiday. We'll see you next time.
Okay, you too.
And thank you, Shakir.
All right, thank you, guys.
Have a good holiday,
Bye-bye.
everybody.